Good morning. Welcome to another session on environmental impact assessment.
We shall continue with Unit 4, Environmental Management Plan. Course outcome, explain the Environmental Management Plan. Learning outcome, EMP for a hotel. Specific outcomes, explain the implementation of an EMP for a hotel. So in this session, we'll be looking at how the Environmental Management Plan is implemented for a hotel. Hotel in the sense like it's a lodging, right, where people can stay. So, introduction, environmental management systems are beneficial for business competitiveness and performance, as recent studies show that environmental proactive hotels achieve above average business performance. Furthermore, customers will be willing to pay a higher price if they are convinced that they are staying at a environmental responsible business. Hence, the importance for hotels of having EMS and an effective CSR, that is corporate social responsibility, in order to engage with investors, governments, and customers, and as a result, increase their revenues. This is just telling the importance of having an EMS for a hotel. So, this report represents Moore Hall Hotel and Spa with an EMP for the hotel rooms, which includes a business description, baseline review, environmental targets and actions, followed by a timeline for implementation, a communication strategy to the stakeholders, and risk associated. Following the environmental management for hotel guidelines, this EMP will firstly be reviewed by the management, right, as available resources will need to be considered. Consequently, it will be consulted with the main stakeholders prior to implementation. So this is actually not it is not a hypothetical report. It is actually there is a hotel called Moore Hall Hotel, right, in UK, right. So and they have prepared an environmental management plan for their hotel. So based on that, I am taking this session. So so what they do is actually the EMP is first reviewed by the management and is checked, and then it is consulted with main stakeholders. Stakeholders means that who are going to benefit out of it. So main stakeholder is the customer who is going to stay in the hotel, right? And there may be other stakeholders also, but the primary stakeholder in our case is the customer who is going to stay in the hotel rooms. So their brief description about their business, right? So the medium family owned hotel, right, type of business, 4-star accommodation, restaurant, it has a restaurant and it has a spa. Location is Birmingham, it's in UK, right? Occupancy and facilities, how many rooms, restaurants, meeting rooms, gardens, grounds, leisure centers with pool and spa. So there's a management structure, right? So general manager, then comes assistant manager, and then assistant manager. Below him you have a financial director, right? Front of the house manager, HR manager, food and beverage manager, right? Spa and fitness manager, right? So this is a hierarchical structure of the hotel management, right? So the staff to customers ratio is 0.61. The EMP and awards they have got, right? Is there any team in charge for the sustainability issues? Yes, there is a green team which is going to take care of the sustainability issues, whether they are implementing sustainability concepts. So the Moore Hall Hotel focuses in delivering high level of quality service. This is a baseline review, meaning what is their aim and goal. So the hotel focuses on delivering high level of quality service and contributing to a long-term sustainability of their local community through a strong CSR policy and environmental commitment. The hotel aims to achieve the green tourism business standard, taking in consideration of the budget and available resources and following industry guidelines. The following areas of impacts have been prioritized: water, energy, waste, supply chain, and biodiversity. So based on these 5 criteria, this EMP has been prepared, right? So first, coming to the possible impacts and causes. First, water pollution, right? So use of toiletries in the rooms, right? And chemicals that are used in laundry, um, and also chemicals used by the housekeeping department, meaning the cleaning department. So these are the um sources by which you can have pollution. So what happens? Hotel does not hotel does not use eco-friendly chemicals for laundry and cleaning, right? Lack of eco-friendly toiletries in the guest rooms. So these are the causes. Excuse me. So these are the causes for the impacts. Then comes water consumption. So high amount of water consumption. That's a detail. So what are the causes? Lack of communication to guess about water saving initiatives, plumbing system being old, possible leakage. Housekeeping uses high amount of water on their duties, meaning they are using a lot of water for cleaning. Energy, general energy consumption, high amount of energy consumption is the problem. So housekeeping laundry services require high level of energy to operate. This is one of the causes. To focus on customer satisfaction and quality service, the hotel has to keep the hotel warm and the lights on for 24 hours. That's another cause. Appliances are not energy efficient. Third, solid waste. So high amount of solid waste generation in the rooms. So hotel is not providing recycling options in the rooms or guest areas. Room toiletries increase the general amount of waste. Kitchen doesn't control organic waste or unused product waste, and guests leaving shopping packages behind during their stay. Supply chain, environmental impact of the supply chain, lack of sustainable supply chain policy. Supply chain means like how much is coming, how much they are using, how much is going as waste. So something related to their supply of goods from their suppliers. So hotel buys individual packaged products, right? Not taking into consideration of eco-friendly products. New furniture and appliances are not environmental friendly. These are the causes of the problem of supply chain. And the last one is biodiversity. So impact on the biodiversity. So what is the problem? The extension of the gardens and the access to the hotel building have an impact on biodiversity. So what are the causes? The creation of pavement, access to the land and parking areas has altered the natural soil and creates air pollution from the transportation used. The noise pollution from the visitors might affect the local fauna. The risk of customers walking around off track might have an erosion on the ground. These are the possible causes of the impact of impact on biodiversity. Now, what is the action plan? So we have seen what are the problems, what are the causes for that. Now we come to the action plan, right? So what the hotel is going to do, what steps they are going to take to overcome the problems and their causes, right? So first one is reduce the water pollution. So on the top you can see some coding, right? That is some codes, right? Not coding, it's a codes, right? So one symbol indicates less than 50 hours, two symbols indicate about 100 or less than 100 hours, three symbols indicates more than 100 hours of work. And cost wise, the first symbol indicates something, second symbol indicates a little more cost, third symbol indicates little more cost, fourth symbol indicates some more cost, right? We will see that where it is coming, right? So environmental objective one is reducing the water pollution. So environmental targets: reduce the usage of chemicals in the hotel operations. Justification: reasonable consumption of active chemical ingredients is advised to be less than 10 grams per guest night. Action: increasing to 80% the usage of products awarded with ISO type 1 eco label. Reduction of chemicals usage in the laundries. Implementation of eco-friendly laundry products. Provide training on efficient usage of new cleaning products. So who is responsible? The housekeeping manager is responsible. What is the staff time, right? For each one of them there is some time and cost, right? And when they are going to get implemented: in 12 months, second one in 6 months, right? So next one is reduce the general water consumption from a current 140 liters per pounds to 127 liters per pounds. So achievable water saving through implementation of best practices are estimated to be at least 127 liters per pound, right, for fully serviced hotels. So what to do? What is the action plan? What are the specific steps? Low flow system installation in bathrooms and kitchen. Reduction of laundry by reuse of towels and bedclothes by 30%. Creative informative leaflets and signs for guest rooms about the importance of using water wisely, linking this information to the existent fresh water resources in the surrounding areas, Set up targets at every department to reward staff collaboration. So who is responsible? Maintenance engineer, housekeeping manager, front of the house manager, directors. So how much staff is required? So each of them have only one symbol, meaning about 50 hours, right, of work. And what is the cost and what is the implementation time? 12 months, 3 months, 6 months, and so on. Next one is reducing energy consumption. So reduce energy consumption from current 390 kilowatt hour per meter square to 345 kilowatt hour per meter square, right? So the satisfactory levels stated by ITP are marked as something, right? 345 kilowatt hour per meter square. So what we have to do, create a process of monitoring the consumption monthly, change all the appliances to LED bulbs, technical maintenance of electrical appliances to ensure efficient working conditions. So who is responsible? Maintenance manager. How much staff, how many staffs are required, what is the cost, what is the implementation time, right? You have some more things, some more action plan, right, that you can just go through that. And next one is decreasing the solid waste. So reduce the current solid waste levels from 2.3 to 1 point, sorry, to 1 kg per guest night. That is the average hotel levels. So implementation of solid waste policy can reduce the hotel waste disposal cost by 60%. So what we have to do, creation of no waste policy, right? Register for monitoring each department, training session, and at the end of the year, performance communication to all the staff members. Sourcing recycle bins for the guest areas and hotel departments with graphic messages on how to use them. Organic waste is to be turned into compost for gardening. Source eco-friendly toiletries for guest rooms. Replace toilet tissues only when disposals are almost empty. Furniture or appliance to be changed but in working conditions to be sold to staff members or given in charity. Offering free Wi-Fi access to guests to reduce paper use of daily newspapers. Who is responsible? You have some people who are responsible for that. What how much staff you required? What is the cost and what is the implementation time? And the last one is diversification on supply chain. So improve the supply chain footprint. So the purchasing department doesn't take into consideration of the sustainability best practices when contracting or outsourcing products. So what is the action plan? Create a sustainable policy, chain policy, add it to the purchasing terms and conditions, and train the staff. Distribute the new SPC with current suppliers and contractors. Purchase in bulk to replace current individual products, not as every time buying one or two things. Buy in bulk and use them, so that a lot of packaging materials will also reduce, a lot of waste will be reduced, right? And also using eco-friendly products. So who is responsible? Staff members required, cost required, what is the timeline? And the last one, sorry, the previous one was the last but one. This is the last one, reducing the biodiversity impact. So reduce biodiversity impact from the exterior areas of the hotel. So garden and external garden areas can impact on soil erosion, noise, and air pollution. So what are the practical steps that we need to take? Carry out an impact assessment of the exterior areas to obtain details of the current impact. Plant endemic plants in the gardens. Create communication for guests in the exterior part to make them aware of erosion. Study discount options for guests coming to the hotel by public transport. Encourage staff to share transportation. Collaborate with the local environmental conservation NGO, that is non-governmental organization. So who is responsible for that? How many staffs are required? What is the cost and what is the timeline? Right. So I hope you get an idea of what the action plan is. Right. So we have seen the causes and the problem that the hotel was facing in terms of water, energy, supply chain management, biodiversity, waste management, and they have come up with some action plan. And who is responsible for that? What is the cost required? What is the timeline? And how many staffs are required? So, as I said, stakeholders, the main stakeholders are the customers who are going to come, but there are other stakeholders, right? The owners, right? They are going to get benefit from the hotel. Managers, employees, suppliers who are supplying goods for the hotel, community who are staying, people staying in the society, they'll use the hotel, and then some local organization. These are the stakeholders. So, what is the communication strategy for executing the action plan, right? So, stakeholder is the staff. So, messages, internal company EMP launching. There's a message for them. Actions and implementations in staff and working areas. Methodology, formal meeting with presentation. Each employee will have the relevant points concerning and fitting to the fitting into the EMP for their job description. A copy of this will be available for the staff, right? When it was implemented and who was the manager who was responsible. Internal communication mails, monthly updates, and year EMP. So this is ongoing, and who is responsible for that? Then coming to managers, introduction to the planning, budgeting, targets, communication strategy. So how it is done: formal meeting, monthly meeting, every 3 months review of targets, creation of feedback system to allow employees and clients give feedback. So when it is going on, who is responsible for that? Yes, these are the this is the next stakeholder. Yes. So environmental management policy and company commitment available on website. Environmental actions in guest areas. So how to do that? Update of the environmental section of the website with actions to achieving the company commitments. Key to help in changing customer behaviors towards the environment. Leaflets in hotel receptions, posters in public areas, messages in guest rooms. When it is to be done, who is doing that? Suppliers communication of EMP implementation to suppliers through email communication, requirements and terms and conditions to existing suppliers through email or post service. When it is done, who is responsible for that? Local communities communication with the local authorities, association, and community through email and year review updates. So when it is to be done, and who is going to take care of that? And coming to the last, we have some critical risk factors, right? So after developing and implementing an EMP, there are some factors that are crucial for an EMP to succeed and allow and improve customer satisfaction and differentiation from competitors. So what are the factors? First, total commitment towards the implementation of the EMP from all the stakeholders. Second, creation of an environmental culture. Third, better procedures, training, and corrective actions. A budget and resources will be needed to be allocated, hence, the importance to analyze internal structures in place. So, after understanding the successful factors to implement an EMP is relevant to assess possible risks, their likelihood and impact, and follow a control approach to minimize or mitigate them. Right. So you'll understand what I'm going to, what I'm speaking about in the next few slides. So these are some factors which are, which may affect the implementation process, right? Because we need commitment from the team. We need them to create an environmental culture. We need some training and better procedures to be followed, corrective actions to be taken. A budget is required, right? So risk is lack of staff commitment. So how often it can happen? Likelihood is 2. Assuming there are 3 levels, I will tell you what the levels are when you go to the next few slides. Maybe I'll just show that. So level 1 is low, second one is moderate, risky, and third one is high. Similarly, likelihood is low is not likely, medium is likely to happen, and third one is uh, high possibility of happening, right? So likelihood is 2, impact level is very high. No commitment means it's going to have a heavy impact on the hotel management and its business. So what are the control measures? Staff consultation in decision making, engagement through feedback system, constant training, share results and updates on EMP implementation process. Customers not engaging with new hotel procedures, so likelihood is 2, medium, that is possible, and the effect also will be medium. So what to do? Review communication strategy in house and online. Use social media channels to present new procedures and train on the consequences for the environment. Third one, lack of skills to meet the targets and objectives. This is also possible, likelihood is 2, and effect also will be 2. So what to do? Informative sessions, staff management and training implementation to support staffs. Next one is lack of compliance knowledge. People don't know what are the standards. So likelihood 1, effect also will be 1. So ongoing review of policies and adhering to informative compliance services. Next one is lack of green supply chain. So likelihood is 1, effect will be 2. So review standards and seek alternatives with reduced impacts. Contact or adhere to a green certification to seek advice of services for green hotels. Not enough budget, likelihood is very high, and the effect also will be very high. So review of EMP plan and allocated budgets to reassess the priorities. Right. So thank you.
Thus, we come to the end of this session. Thank you for your participation. Looking forward to meeting you in the next session.